Alright, Corbin here, and this is my kitchen island that I've been building in this series. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how I did the finish to achieve this look. So the first step is to sand, and I first hit it up with 150 and then 220. That's all I really need to do. I like to hand sand the edges because the random orbital sander will tend to curve over the edges, which kind of sucks. For the other parts, I use the random orbital sander. It is just so much faster and handier to switch grits and go back and forth from 150 to 220. I'll sometimes use 100 if the wood is some type of wood that's more difficult to sand. This is alder, which is a really soft wood. I'll start with 100 for something like maple. Otherwise, it's just 150 and 220, and that is it. So after sanding, I have to get the dust off. I have one rag that I usually use to kind of wipe a lot of it off. It's just a dry rag. And then I'll grab my dust collector, my air hose, and just spray the dust off. Sometimes I spray it first before wiping. Either or kind of works. I should also mention, before finishing the doors, I drilled out the holes for the hinges. So dust is your enemy, and I do a wipe down with denatured alcohol before I start any finishing. I'm going to be using an HVLP to do my spraying, a high volume, low pressure gun. Check the description for details on the exact equipment I use and recommend. I like to use a water-based finish because it is a lot better for the environment, it's easier to spray, and it presents less danger as oil-based finishes could combust if you're spraying them and they get a spark. The first coat needs to seal the wood and prevent blotching, and I just do a coat of the water-based shellac from Target Coatings. It gives it a slight amber hue after you spray it. They say you could dilute it up to like 50%, but I just spray it full strength, and that seems to work fine for me. I set up my garage to do the spraying and just put the cabinets on the side, and then I put the doors up on some little prop ups to kind of just hold them so I can do one side, flip it, and then do the other side. I have poor lighting in my garage, so I will tend to hold a light so I can kind of see where I've sprayed and see how the coats are working. I'm not going to really show or teach how to actually spray, but I want to show you my recipe for actually getting the look that I am achieving. The shellac is really runny, and so it tends to drip down, and so I'll grab a brush and just clean up where it's dripping down. And I'll even just brush the face of it. It really doesn't hurt it very much. I would not actually brush the final coats or the regular lacquer that I'm going to put on, but the shellac is so runny it just seems to be fine if I brush it a bit. After that first berry coat of shellac has dried, I go ahead and apply a gel stain. This is an oil-based gel stain, and so it will need to dry for a full 24 hours before I add the next coats. And I just wipe it on, let it sit for a few minutes, and then wipe it off with another rag, and that basically gives me the look. Check out the description for the actual stain colors I'm using in this particular finishing recipe. After using an oil-based stain or gel like I was doing, you have to put another coat of shellac on top to kind of seal it in, otherwise you get some reaction problems. So I spray another coat of the water-based shellac on top of the gel after it's fully dried. After the shellac dries, I put on a coat of EM6000 production lacquer. I believe this may no longer be available, so I'll list something else that is now available that's basically equivalent. My technique for spraying the doors is to flip them upside down and do the back side or the inside first. I spray the bottom line with a sharper version of the gun, meaning I set the gun to be a tighter pattern, and then I flip it to my regular pattern and start holding my light against it so I can see what's happening, and then do the real coats. I am going to do 3 coats of this production lacquer, and after I do the 3 coats, I will go ahead and do some sanding. While spraying the lacquer, I will sometimes get thicker areas in the bottom interior of the doors, just like with the shellac. I'll carefully touch it up with a brush, and I found that if I do it early enough, it won't leave any brush marks. Another tip I'll give on my technique is after I spray the backside or inside of the door faces, I will go ahead and flip them around and upside down so I can do the other side. And I do the backside first, lean it against it, and then do the front side. I am actually flipping them the opposite way. I'm flipping them so I can do the backside again, but you kind of get the picture. After 3 coats, I could visibly see some bumpiness on the surface. I could also feel the roughness when I rub across it. So the next thing I needed to do was to start sanding. I used 400 grit sandpaper and I just sand it by hand to remove that bumpiness. I find that I don't really need a sanding block because you just kind of want to knock down the higher areas and get it to be rough. I usually would do this after letting it dry overnight to ensure that everything is totally dry and wouldn't have issues sanding it when it's too wet. After sanding, I grab the air compressor and blow all the dust off. I'll also sometimes use a vacuum to vacuum it out. Once I've gotten the majority of the dust out, I wipe it again with denatured alcohol to remove any of the last bits of dust. After the wipe down, I can put on the final 4th coat. For the drawers, I use Super Clear 9000 because it is a lot more durable for dealing with stuff being tossed into the drawers. It's also very clear and doesn't leave a yellowish finish, which is great for my solid maple drawers. Just like the cabinets, I'll spray 3 coats, do some sanding with 400 grit, and then spray a 4th final coat. I'll usually toss them up on the sides and spray 2 or 3 coats in the bottom first, kind of rough because you never really see it. And then I will put them down flat and do the rest of it. So that's pretty much it for the finishing. In the next episode, I'll go into some assembly and talk about how I install. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to encourage me to make more videos. Bye everyone.